Why did we make the journey? Because we're bored. After like a whole year of just Corona pandemic madness, working from home and all that stuff, I just was so bored living in like the same four walls in my home, seeing the same dumb shit every single day and leaving the house even fewer than I did before. I just wanted to see something new, something different, and I don't know, maybe it's silly, but I wanted to travel to a destination that wasn't around the corner. I didn't want to only drive like 20 kilometers in distance and then walk through the same forest I know and I can see out of my window. I wanted to just see something different. So one random evening, a silly idea got stuck in my head. And yeah, I don't know how it went from there. I think, yeah. I grabbed my tablet, I started Googling for 10 to 20 minutes, searched a bit on Google Maps and, I don't know, set a random target with the pin, with the address pin. And then I called my friend Christoph, which is also a member of the Hackner Media CGI team. After a short discussion via FaceTime, we made the plan stick, checked what we needed. We wanted to plan a bit of self-made food, some nice drinks, and after that we decided what we wanted to do. We didn't want to only make like a single day holiday and then finish and drive home. We wanted to make something, we wanted to challenge ourselves with our creative minds. So we set a target to make a short holiday, have some fun, chill a bit out, but also make a video, like each one of us needed to make a video. And yeah, after that was set, 2 days later, we packed our equipment, loaded up our cars, met at my home. We all hopped into my car and then started driving. In retrospect it was, and I think it still is, a pretty stupid decision to drive like 600 kilometers in distance one day to go hiking and shoot a video for like 3 to 4 hours in a different country and then head back the same day. But I don't know, when I'm thinking back to the experience, it was quite nice and honestly I would do it again. Our planned destination was Switzerland. Luckily for us, Christoph and I, we both live in the south of Germany, which is pretty close to the border of Switzerland. We didn't have that long to drive. And also, side note, having access to a pretty long strip of the Autobahn without a speed limit also does help quite a bit reaching your target, in this case the Basel border, pretty quickly. So, close to an hour later, we passed the border to Switzerland and started driving on the Swiss Autobahns. One pretty critical thing from switching borders from Germany to Switzerland, especially as a German citizen, is the driving on the Autobahn. I'm driving quite often on the Autobahn just to reach different places for different jobs, obviously before Corona. And I would say it's pretty easy to forget that Germany is the only country where you can drive like open limit, max out, far beyond 200 kilometers an hour without getting any sort of legal issues. So I needed to remind myself, hey, stick to the speed limit. There is only 120 kph limit on the Swiss highways, so we definitely needed to keep it down. If you never have been to Switzerland, you maybe don't know this, but I would say speeding tickets for driving like 2 kilometers an hour over the speed limit are pretty hefty. I've heard some crazy stories from people that like drove 10 kilometers an hour over the speed limit and got like a ticket that was like 300, 400, 500 euros, which is pretty mind-boggling if I consider what a speeding ticket in Germany costs. It's like, I don't know, 10 euros, 15 euros if you're really pushing it. But yeah, it was nothing to really worry about, especially because it's a different country, not my home country. You're always a bit more, I would say, calm and cautious on like every stretch of the road, because you don't know the way, you only use navigation, don't know the different signs and all that stuff. So yeah. After we have passed the Swiss border at Basel, which is a city that's pretty close to the border, I would say longer stretch of the journey began. We had like 2 hours left until we reached our destination, which is called Andermatt. Andermatt is a Swiss name, and if you would translate it word by word, it would say something like "at the meadow," which I found pretty funny. Already after only 1 hour of driving in Switzerland, we noticed how in what short of a time span the mountains got so crazy taller and taller and taller until they reached like an absurd height. So we couldn't even see the top of the mountain out of our car windows, even if we leaned forward, which is just mind-boggling if you didn't grow up in like this kind of landscape. Why did we choose Andermatt? It's actually a pretty fun story. We originally planned to go the complete opposite way. I am like, I would say, a hobby car enthusiast, and I really like car racing. And in Germany there are a couple of different amazing racing tracks. One of them is of course the Nürburgring and Nordschleife. And Christoph isn't that big of a car guy, but after we watched some different pretty crazy videos from different races, he also started to like the idea of car racing, and we originally wanted to drive to the Nürburgring so I could show him the different sections of the track, like Pflanzgarten, Dettinger Höhe, Hohe Acht, and all those like pretty epic sections of the mythical racetrack Nordschleife or the Green Hell, or however it's been called these days. But due to the coronavirus, almost every bigger parking space at the Nordschleife was closed because of contact restrictions and all that kind of stuff. And even though you still could visit the track and also drive on it, like the tourist attractions where you can drive around on the Nordschleife for paying a certain fee, you could still do that, but I didn't really like the idea to use my car on a racetrack where people crash frequently. So we ditched that idea pretty early in the process, and then Andermatt came to my mind. I knew the place from one of my favorite car YouTubers, which is called Cars with Luke. He is a Swiss-based YouTuber that makes English content. I actually don't really know if he is like an American or from Great Britain. I only know he lives in Switzerland near Zurich, and the crazy thing is, which I just love about his channel, he isn't that big of a YouTuber. I think he has only like 150,000 subscribers at the point of recording this video. But he still gets like these crazy brand deals with like Bentley, Aston Martin, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche and all that crazy stuff. And so he pretty often drives around Switzerland, different mountain passes, and drives these crazy cars like Bentley Continental GTs, Porsche GT3s, McLarens and all that crazy stuff. And at a certain point, watching his videos, I noticed that all the roads or mountain tracks or mountain passes he drives are pretty close together. Like the Oberalp Pass, the Furka Pass, the Grimsel Pass and all those pass roads. All of those roads start from a little town called Andermatt. And I always loved the crazy backgrounds in his videos with like the giant mountains, the deep valleys, the green grass and all those twisty, windy roads. And I always wondered how the experience would be to drive on those same roads myself. So yeah, Andermatt was the destination for that. I don't really own a sports car or any crazy expensive car like Luke himself. I think today he owns an Audi R6 or something. But yeah, I don't really own a car that's that fast. I mean, my car is not really slow. It's like a 230 horsepower limousine. I would say it's still pretty fun to drive. It's more of like an Autobahn racer where you can just put the foot flat down, race 250 kilometers an hour and you don't really notice how fast you're going. It's not the best car in the turns, but it's still pretty fun, like shifting through the gears, revving it up a bit and driving it up the mountain road. So the experience was quite nice. But we didn't plan to only go to like the Oberalp Pass to race my shitty car up to the mountaintop. We wanted to make a video. That was our initial challenge. So after we arrived at Andermatt, we headed straight to the Oberalp Pass. I originally wanted to drive at the Furka Pass, but it was closed due to, I don't know, some maintenance works or something like that. But the Oberalp Pass was free and on the map it didn't look bad at all, so we went for it and headed up the mountain. And I can only say to you, if you are ever close or in the Swiss area and have the opportunity to rent a car, maybe a bit of a fast car, definitely take the couple of hours, half a day, go to that location and drive it yourself. It's just amazing. And even if it's not for like racing up your car a steep mountain, the scenery is just breathtaking, as you will see on the footage that we captured there. It's just mind-boggling how beautiful this scenery really is. After we reached almost the top of the mountain, we stopped at a small parking lot beside of the road, grabbed our camera gear and started going to work. I must say, in the end, I'm not really that happy with my camera work. I mean, it's fine, don't get me wrong, but in all honesty, I think I was more stunned by like this crazy view and the crazy location we were to really pay attention to what I was filming and how I was filming my stuff. So if I would go there a second time, I think my shots would definitely be better or like more professionally made or more up to my standards, I should say. But nonetheless, it was just an amazing experience. And yeah, after we had filmed enough, seen all of the different views from the mountaintop, and the sun slowly went down and got golden, and we decided to slowly head back to our home. The drive to and from Andermatt was, I like, better than you could ever wish for. There was almost no traffic, few cars all day long. I don't know, I think the only part where we had like some stop and go traffic for, I don't know, 5 minutes, so nothing crazy, was at the border because one border passing lane was closed due to construction. But apart from that, it was free to go. It was amazing. After we reached Basel again and crossed the border back to Germany, the Autobahn was completely free. So I would say, because there were almost no cars and the speed limit wasn't really there anymore, and I also had some gas left in my car, maybe I like pressed a bit harder on the gas than usual and headed home pretty quickly. Yeah. So in retrospect, as I said, it was just a fun little trip. It's like these kinds of trips that you only can do when you are young, when you don't have that many things to care about. It's easier to make random stuff like this if you are still young and not that dependent on different stuff than if you, for example, have like already a family or kids or your wife, where you just can't do that spontaneous stuff anymore. So yeah, we already planned to go back to Switzerland, maybe a different city the next time, but we definitely want to visit Switzerland this year again and hopefully make a video that is a bit more up to my personal standards. If you have watched the video all the way through, thank you for your patience. It means a lot to me. This style of video is pretty new to this channel. It's completely different apart from my usual 3D tutorial stuff. I don't know, I just wanted to make something different, just wanted to try something out. Because I haven't filmed that much with my real camera in real life and done so much more CG stuff in the last couple of months that I just wanted to make something in real life again. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you like to see more or similar stuff, please let me know in the comments. Other than that, I can just repeat myself and say thank you for watching this video. It was a lot of work, a lot of passion, and also a lot of distance that we traveled to achieve all this content. But yeah, other than that, I wish you a great weekend, because it's Sunday now while I'm editing the end of this video. And yeah, I hope to see you back soon at the next weekend, and then back with our regular 3D stuff. Stay tuned.